Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the GLoLady Show. I'm Teleri, and stay tuned for the second belly dance lesson.
Hey, this is GLoLady.
Hi, Lisa.
Wow.
Hi, Teleri. Hi,
Hey,
Victoria.
Yeah, it's like, geez. And we also have somebody else that's going to be coming on a little bit later on, too.
We have
huh?
a special guest.
Yeah, way special guest. we got a lot of stuff going on today. Kelly Beard's going to be calling in at 5:15. And some of the things that we want to talk about are the potluck dinners.
Yes.
And I had gone to the Faces of Asheville last Monday, and that was like really
Was it good?
cool. Yeah,
Was
she
there
really
a
did a
big show?
fantastic job. It was a lot of stuff going on. Hey, Shamrock, she's mad. Where's Shamrock? You can hear her. She is voicing her displeasure. Shamrock's mad because usually she's sitting on Mom's lap.
So she's squeezing her little bone there.
That's it. But it was so cool. And a big part of the Faces of Asheville is what she's doing. It's not just taking pictures of people, but it's what she's doing with it, going up and beyond. And that is assembling ideas, building our future, and connecting our communities. And it's, getting involved on a local level and making a difference. And what she's doing, she has the series. I mean, we had talked last week a little bit about, what she's doing, but it's 33 community assemblies discussing local questions, challenges, and opportunities of interest to the Asheville area. Now, something that's really cool about it is that you can really adapt these to any community.
Oh, okay.
So, Brevard
Yes.
is now going to be offering the same also.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I talked to Michael. Some of you remember Michael Collins with the Bread of Life.
Yes, Michael's a sweet man.
Fantastic. He's been a guest 4 times on the show. And he has a free community kitchen in Brevard, and it's at 243 South Caldwell. So, every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, we're going to be meeting at the Bread of Life, and we're going to be until March. When March starts, we're going to get into this. But we're going to be meeting to organize the first Sunday community potluck dinner.
Great.
So if you're not doing anything Wednesday night in Brevard, 6 o'clock, the Bread of Life, and we're gonna get the first
Get the ball
Sunday.
rolling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great.
So we're challenging all communities out there. Go on the Faces of Asheville website. Let's see if she has anything on here to. I'm sure if you just okay, here we go. AshevilleABC.com. That's really easy to remember. So AshevilleABC.com. Go check it out and see what you can do and apply it for your neighborhood. Something else I went to last night in Brevard. It was a spend it local, keep it local. And it's, it's geared towards Transylvania businesses, but it was interesting how, the economic development, the dollar that you spend locally does the work of $5 as it circulates 5 times. Now, this is anywhere you live, if you want your community to flourish, you got to put a little bit of work into it too, and part of it is spending it in your neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
And it's like being a community. Okay, the jobs. Well, okay, this is for Transylvania County, and the jobs in this county are nearly all from businesses of less than 100 employees. Taxes. I mean, it goes into. It was really pretty cool. Something else that's going to be going on is a Prospering in 2009 conference. There again, I don't know if it's going to be, because you're supposed to pre-register. And this is at the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's at the college, the Blue Ridge College in Hendersonville. And it's, the conference agenda is for, accommodations, retail, crafts, and culinary. And these are different, 4 different. And let's talk about how to, increasing your accommodations revenue, tips for increasing retail revenue, market opportunities for craft people. And tips. Let's talk about solutions on how we can make things better, and that's pretty much what it is. But it was really cool. And then one of the gentlemen there, he had said, we talk about what's wrong with America, and he did this report on what's right with America, and it's think of the world community of 67 billion people being represented by 100 persons. In a world made up of only 100 people, 5 of them would live in the United States, 95 would be citizens of other countries. These 5 people in the United States would own 34% of the world's equity market and own 25% of the gross profits and be the largest importer of goods. Wow, largest importer of goods. Did you get that one? Have a gross national product more than 2 times that of Japan and larger than that of European Union combined. I mean, it goes on and on. But it's like we always look at what's wrong.
We're looking at the negative. The glass, like we talked about, the glass half empty or the glass half full.
That's it. That's it. It's what is our point of view? Which way do we look at things? And then I had stopped and was speaking with Kashmira, and she's going to be our guest next week, and talking about iridology and also about preventing cancer. There's a Prevent Cancer. I don't know if it's .com or .org, but it was really interesting.
Wow.
And it talked about all of these household chemicals that we have that we use, and they cause cancer. And it's like, wow, the list is never ending. So it's like, looking at solutions with that. And of course, we have Teleris on today. And you know what that means. We're going to be belly dancing.
See, everybody has their zills. That's really
great. And it's like, how is belly dancing a solution? Because this is solutions for change. And, well, let me tell you some different solutions that belly dancing is good for. Exercise. I mean, come on, get your butts up and exercise, or not even exercise. Let's not even call it exercise. Just get your butts up and dance with us, and you'll see that, it is good exercise. But something that's really interesting, people go out to nightclubs, and, well, what do you go out to do at the nightclubs? Well, most people watch people dance. That's a form of entertainment.
That's right.
And when I was designing clothing, and I sold clothing to the girls that work at the strip bars, you ladies, that's why the men went to the strip bars. They didn't go to watch the girls dance. They went to see my clothes.
That's what it was. Wow.
Yep. But seriously.
Did you do a survey on that?
I was watching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, do we have a call coming in?
Not yet, but I thought I'd let you know the psychologists have stated that a woman is more sexier looking in clothes than out of clothes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll
guess
vouch for
what?
that.
Yeah, I know a bunch of men are the same way.
And it's like, guess what, guys? We're going to make you happy today because we're not going to take off our clothing.
We will be more sexy because we're
Yeah, they'll
not
just
going
have to check
That's
out
it.
the Mad Monk's getting to prepare something for after 2 in a couple of months.
Oh.
Okay.
Whoa, his artistic expression. But there again, we tend to pervert nudity. It's not that the nude body is perverted, it's just our thought of it tends to be. And that's something else. I ran into Spice at the Faces of Asheville, and she's going to come on and we're going to talk sex.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
stay tuned for that, and we're going to keep it pretty much PG related because Chet is going to be joining us.
Wonderful.
I'm like so excited.
And tell everybody again who Chet is.
Chet is my son, my youngest son. He's 16 and he's going to be joining us. And if you notice the roll in, he's going to be coming in with that teenage point of view. So I had said something to Aaron. Aaron's helping us today. He is our intern extraordinaire. That's the only way you can describe him.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, to come that it's going to be a teenagers. Let's talk teenagers. So
Let's
that's
talk
going to be
issues
on the
and let's,
6th. Yeah.
let's listen. We need
Yeah.
to get Victor here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be, wow, we'll have a whole bunch of teenage boys.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine that testosterone bouncing off?
Ew.
Yeah.
High energy.
Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So-
And look who couldn't stand it over there any longer. So she snuck up behind us.
See?
Shamrock couldn't stand it.
Yeah. But she wanted to show off her new outfit.
Yeah, she has a dress
she looks
on.
so cute. For those of you who don't know, Shamrock is the Iching dog. It's like, let me see, how do I describe her? But it was like she was a rescue dog.
Yes.
And she has allergies, so that's why she has to get dressed.
Yes. Yeah. She can't have anything against
There you go.
any leash or collar or anything on her because she doesn't have any hair on her tummy at all. And what she does have on her back, she's allergic to everything. So say hi, Shamrock. Say hi. There you go.
And that's something that's really important. Did anybody see on the news about the woman who was sleeping in the car with, 22 dogs?
No.
Out in California. I think it was in California. It was like 2 weeks that she was living in the car. She had gotten evicted, and she used to breed dogs. And
Oh my.
so it ended up that the dogs all went to the Humane Society.
How big
and
was the
they
car?
had the Humane Society spokesperson or president. Anyhow, he had said that this is just the beginning of what we're going to see, that people,
if
when
they
they
get
get
evicted,
evicted, that the shelters, if they go to homeless shelters, that they don't take their animals. So then what do they do with their animals?
Yeah.
And I was in that position,
Yeah.
times. And it's like,
You
what
put
do
them in your
do?
van and
Yeah.
and brought
My
them
cats,
along.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cats.
And speaking of animals, I'm sure all of you saw on the news, or maybe some of you saw about the 200-pound chimpanzee
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
was living with the woman and attacked her friend, and that was really strange. That poor woman had some issues. I mean, that
From what it sounds like.
yeah, losing her husband or losing a daughter and then losing her husband, that became her companion.
Right.
And your mind will play tricks on you sometime, and that's the thing about some of these exotic animals is
They're exotic animals.
And they're
period.
wild.
and they're wild, and
Yeah.
at some point
Yeah.
that instinct is going to happen, and it's just a sad thing. And I feel sorry for her too, because she
Right.
should have had help a long time ago. And that.
Kelly, are you there?
Hey, I can hear you, Chris.
Oh, Kelly's here. Okay. So anyway, that was a very sad story, and the woman that was attacked had to have a whole face transplant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And while we're on sad stories, well, of course, we'll talk about the Octomom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
that is so sad.
Did you see that she had gotten an offer of help?
No.
It was or she's an attorney. She's a well-known attorney, and she has some type of an angel network set up that help women in this type of position, and that they're going to be offering, or that they have offered her a home and help with the children.
Wow.
And that's, nurses in there and people coming in to feed and the whole.
We
whole
need to
9
help
yards.
those babies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we really
for
need to help
sure.
them.
That's
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, for whatever reason that she did it, that's not enough of an excuse
right.
not to help.
That's right. And all these death threats she was getting and all this, I just have a hard time with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm sorry, but for someone to have 6 children under 7 and then, really want 8 more, there has to be. I'm sorry,
Well,
but there has to be something wrong with why.
Yeah, she
Or
needs
the
help.
motives. The motives were not correct in what she did.
Well, and then also that doctor, the motive of him to
Right.
allow this to happen.
On the line?
Kelly's
Kelly's
on
here.
the line.
We're
Hey,
ready.
Kelly. Oh, I'll tell you a little bit about, I have a new roll-in, so we're going to be shutting up when Kelly talks, and you're going to watch a roll-in. And I don't know how much into it, but like 34 minutes into the roll-in, you're going to get to see UFOs. These are my photos that I took of UFOs, and not just photos, but also video.
I can hear you. Yeah.
So, you hear that, Kelly? I'm mixing you up with some UFOs.
I am out of this world.
You got it. You got it.
Hi, Kelly.
So, hey, sweetie, how are you?
Good. It's so good to have
Hey,
you back.
Asheville and beyond.
Hey, I guess we're just going to shut up and let you roll with it.
Oh, okay. That's wonderful. Happy new moon in Pisces. We are completing an astrological year and getting ready to initiate a new one. So we get all these little opportunities between December and March to finish up the past and initiate the future. So there's a lot of that feeling still going on, even though we're way past New Year's Eve. But for new moon in Pisces, new moons are always about new beginnings. So, and Pisces rules, it's completion, it's back to the womb, it's where you are in development prior to rebirth. So we're gathering right now and doing things that are non-linear. Anything non-linear, anything artistic, anything that engages that other side of your brain and gets things cooking that words cannot describe. That is Pisces domain. So we really want to bring in some of that, taking some time out for meditation and stillness over the next month. Really, really, really important, because every month something bigger and more active is going to be happening. So take the downtime when you can get it. Pisces rules, intuition and dreams and visions. It also rules illusions and delusions and addiction and escapism. So this is also, with a new moon, the best time of year to release any addictions or addictive behaviors, any negative thought patterns, anything that does not truly serve you or help you heal and improve your life. Anything holding you back, this is the best time to let go of that. And if there's any rigid, hard, crusty parts of your being, this type of water energy can dissolve that and soften that up. And we want that while we are backstage trying to get it together before we go forward in the spring. So for now, we want to definitely just tune in to releasing, having healthy boundaries, determining the difference between healthy and unhealthy boundaries for yourself, whatever your gauge is, having faith and having some type of spiritual practice, whatever it is, whatever works best for your being is what you go with. If that is 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day. I think we discussed the heart meditation at least once or twice on here. The heart meditation is 3 steps. You tune into your heart, you breathe through your heart, and then you call up the most happy, joyful, peaceful memory that you can think of. And, excuse me, and you feel that feeling again, whatever the most vivid detail that you can bring it up, because your feelings are what really create in this world. Thoughts and mantras and affirmations are wonderful for practice and retraining the mind. But to make things happen and to bring things into tangible form, you've got to really want it, and you've got to have that feeling behind it. So calling that up can literally change your frequency. And when we're dealing with Pisces, it's all about frequency. if you are a Pisces or even a Virgo, both of these energies are activated at this time, you're picking up information from frequencies and vibrations and things that have no words. And so very often this is what causes Pisces to be confused. This is what causes relationships to get confused. This is, you come in a room and you're picking up all this information that no one has actually articulated anything. Nobody's actually said anything, and you've gathered all this information. That's your antenna, and so you have to integrate that Virgo aspect. Your opposite of Pisces is Virgo, and activate your discernment, learning, who, when, and what to trust as real or not real. You have to discern that as you go, and in order to do that, your compass has to be clear, your being has to be clear. You have to know yourself well enough and trust yourself well enough to make these better decisions in the moment as you move through. And Pisces time and the new moon is going to give you a chance to really reconnect with your intuitive power within. Practice trusting it more. I always tell people it's like a muscle. You want to work it like a muscle and really practice. Anytime you're following your intuition, you're going to be right more than you're wrong. So it's really, really important that you take 1 month a year is not too much to ask, to just pull back a little bit, to have some quiet time, do anything in nature, anything that gives you a chance to sort of disconnect, like I said, from linear, from 3D, from this particular reality. And not with drugs and alcohol, not with the addiction type of things, but just you and spirit communing, you and nature communing. If you're going to communicate, let's do it this way, at least for this month. And keep in mind that it is a completion. So where were you at this time last year in March? 6 months ago, when it was September, fall equinox, the spring equinox is a complete cycle. We're rounding that up right now. And what has been in development for 6 months or a year? What have you been developing in terms of your ideas or your being or your structure? We know that the underlying current behind all of our lunar practice right now, full moon and new moon comes every month, but underneath it this year and next, we have the Saturn-Uranus opposition, so there's this huge push-pull between old and new, really pushing us out of our comfort zone. So that's the other reason it's so important to take a few time-outs here and there and really tune into spirit, tune into your higher self, tune into God, however you define that, and get some guidance, get some understanding, assess your past year, assess your actions and things. And in this case, because the Saturn-Uranus thing only happens every 45 years, it's major. It's a major reality shift, and we know this is going on in the world, but we have to take some time out to work our individual beings into position, as it were, and into releasing the past and setting up for the future. The future is going to be much brighter than a lot of people would like to be talking about right now, but I believe in a lot of the readings that I've heard from experts in terms of our major cycles converging in 2012 is that we're ushering in 1,000 years of peace and enlightenment. That's what the Aquarian age is all about. So let's tune into that rather than the doom and gloom. We know what needs to end. It has to end so that the age can move in and so that the new energy can be cultivated as well. And so this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's transitional and it's challenging, and there's good days and bad days, but it's happening whether you participate or not. So it's much better for your personal life if you go co-creating and consciously and directing your own energy and trying to go with the flow, essentially. So as the planets poke us and move us around and push and pull us into position and bring things into the light, which is a lot of what's happening too, there's things that maybe you didn't understand or some debris has been cleared and now it's clear, if there's a little more clarity. We talked about this months ago, probably this time last year, how Mars in 2007, now every 2 years, Mars and Venus will retrograde, giving us a chance to review our masculine and feminine energies within our being. And Mars is our desire nature, what you really, really want, what you're passionate about, what makes you angry, what gets you fired up, what makes you want to take action. So we always work rage to outrage. Rage is destructive. Outrage is constructive. It's mobilizing. It moves you to taking effective action to facilitate change. That is okay. You want to get mad about some of this stuff, and some of it needs some warrior spirits that are based in the light to fight on their behalf. So that's not necessarily a bad thing when it's in balance and done with consciousness. Venus is our feminine nature and our priorities and love and money and resources, what's most important to human life here on this planet. So that's pretty major. And Venus is about to retrograde March 6th, and Mars is going to retrograde at the end of the year in December. But what I want to draw your attention to for this new moon in Pisces, because you are clearing, you're completing, it is a back to the womb type of feeling. You're developing behind the scenes, behind closed doors, not necessarily working with a lot of other people, maybe one therapist type of person or one really good friend who loves and supports you unconditionally. That wouldn't be such a bad thing. But checking in to last March, because last March, Mars was coming out of its major retrograde from '07 in Cancer, where it spent 7 months digging up old childhood traumas and dramas. So between March of last year and August, our big major eclipses, which we were together on, that little period of time, you were really working through some stuff, let's put it that way. So hopefully you've cleared the debris. And the mixed blessing of clearing debris is that very often we've done so much clearing in the last 2 years because of the pressure from energies and entities pushing us around and forcing us to make decisions that maybe we've postponed a little too long or tried to avoid altogether. But that doesn't always work in our favor, so now you're really having to get on point and handle your business as best you can. How did that go? Because now by the end of the year, Mars is going to retrograde through Leo, and you're going to have your past, which is all that Cancer childhood stuff, parents and all the things we didn't get as children and that kind of thing. As we released all that in '07, '09 is going to bring about the self-love issues. So now we've stopped worrying about what we did or didn't get as children. Now, what establishes you as you, the divine spark of you? That's coming up. So just pay attention to each month as it ticks by. There's just different things that you're clearing and moving around and trying to put yourself in a better position to handle whatever comes. That's Kelly's bottom line, is that we just want to be strong enough to handle anything. We don't want to sit here trying to predict the future or figure out what's going to happen next. We just want to fortify ourselves, stay centered in heart, stay centered in spirit, allowing your higher self to get a vote in there every now and then, and really moving through as consciously as possible. Pisces can cause confusion, so that's why it's better to just be alone or with like-minded souls as best you can. And this is your chance right now, a beautiful assessment time of, like I said, a whole year. So consider the womb where it's simultaneously dark and cramped and uncomfortable, but at the same time you're totally nourished and provided for, and all your needs are provided for right there. So this is the, dynamic of Pisces, the duality that we all experience. So taking yourself back there and understanding that you're completing some part of your being, you're developing a part of your being that you want to birth in the spring. And with this Venus in Aries, men and women can truly reinvent themselves. Venus is very feminine. Aries is ruled by Mars, so this is giving us a chance to balance our masculine and feminine energies within all of us. It's also giving a once an 8-year time to reinvent yourself completely. So thinking back, '09, all the way back to '01, how were your values and priorities shifting in 2001 to now? And if you can gauge that and you remember distinct shifts, then how do you want to go forward in this next 8-year cycle? Venus has 8-year cycles. So you can loosely translate your own cycle at 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. These are major shifts in your priorities at these ages. But in the sky, it's happening to everyone right now. And this is major because, again, when it retrogrades, instead of spending the 1 month or two in a sign, it's going to end up spending 6 or 7 months. So I'm giving everyone permission to be selfish between now and June, and to really tune in to your own needs and what it is that makes you tick and what makes you happy and what makes you, what makes you who you are. Because as you ground that and anchor that, you're going to be much more useful to the community as you figure out who you are and what your piece is that you're contributing. And we've talked a lot about this as well. No one can fix it all. We're not going to live long enough to get it fixed at all. It's not going to happen. So what do you care about? You have to just care because you care and not because of any kudos or rewards or accolades or anything like that. You may or may not get that stuff. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm just saying that can't be your driving force for doing good in the community. You have to do it because you care about this aspect of the community, and there's plenty of aspects to choose from. So what is it that means the most to you that you would dedicate your time and energy to regardless of any return on that investment? Because we all need that, and it's kind of for the good of the group. We're going to do this, and we're going to make this investment, and we're going to try to make this world better for our children and the generations to follow. And you have to care about that. You can't just say, well, screw monkey, no peanuts. It's not all about one. It's all about the many. And we're all very connected, and we're learning all these years. Every year we learn more and more how very connected we are, and we cannot be separated. In the chart for this, you definitely want to work on anything creative. For the new moon chart, all the planets are gathered up in Aquarius and Pisces on the right-hand side of the chart in the 5th and 6th house. And that means that 5th house is creativity, children, fun, and having a good time, and just being very innocent and open. And that's in Aquarius. So again, mixing in a new crowd, getting out of your comfort zone, trying something new, trying to, go to a movie by yourself if you're one of those people that doesn't like to go by yourself, or go to dinner by yourself. I know a lot of my girlfriends won't do that. I have always been just fine going places and doing things on my own, but that's because I have that explorer type of spirit. So if that wouldn't be unusual for me, but doing the opposite of whatever your natural inclination is, because right now the universe is trying to break us of patterns anyway. You might as well choose which patterns you want to break and kind of go consciously and co-creatively and paying attention instead of poking along and asleep and having radical shift happen to you. That's the victim consciousness that comes up during Pisces as well. Because of the water energy, it feels, and so your sensitivities are very up. So I want everyone to be mindful. This energy tends to be very, very super sensitive about their own needs and issues and feelings and whatnot, but maybe not so much to others. And that's part of that Virgo-Pisces dynamic. Any Virgo or Pisces tends to be able to immediately go to the wound or immediately go to the flaw in the system. And the whole point of it is to heal it. The ultimate point of Pisces Virgo energy is healing and integrating your physical and spiritual being. It rules the 6th and 12th houses. So the 6th house is daily routine. This means every day a little bit for your body, a little bit for your spirit. And that's part of that big Saturn-Uranus push-pull is in Virgo Pisces. So we know it's happening across the board globally, but now it's also happening micro to macro. It's in the moon energy across from Sirius, which is an earth. What we nurture, what we nourish in Virgo means the healing aspect of things. And in the 11th house, that means community. So we're healing our community. In order to do that, we need our daily practices in check. We need to understand our own beings and our own place in the whole big picture. So this is all on the table for the new moon. And we are coming up on Lent and Easter season, and whether you're religious or not, it's a good time that if you are trying to break any patterns or break any addictions or grow in a certain way, that you give something up. It doesn't necessarily have to be a food or beverage or anything like that, although that, of course, is possible. But it could be a bad habit. It could be, I'm thinking about giving up liquid calories. I think I'm going to just do water and my protein shakes and call it a day for 40 days and not do any ginger ale, which is my soda of choice, or lemonade, which we do a lot in this house. But something that, that you can give up that's not really necessary anyway. It's just become a habit, because we really need to be as conscious as possible going forward in this world. You really have to be on point. Your system needs to be clear so that you can get the messages that your body is trying to give you, that this is right or this is wrong or this person belongs here or this person doesn't, and you can actually use your compass as you're moving through everyday life. And this is a beautiful time to release any victim consciousness. This is a time to initiate any kind of art projects. Intentional solitude is a beautiful thing. You want to do any kind of reflections on water meditations, flow, liquid, thinking stormy or calm, just all your water analogies. Bring those up, and let's pay attention for the next month on how those are going. When we get to the Virgo full moon, and we talk in 2 weeks, that'll be about releasing anything that isn't part of your new system. So as you're initiating this week, you've got 2 weeks to really ground your intentions for the new you, whatever you want to develop over the course of the next year. You should be focused on that as well. And then when we get to Virgo, it'll prune that. It'll cut back on anything frivolous. It'll reassess what you've set forth, and you can determine whether it's really truly going to help heal these aspects of your being. Virgo sorts and sifts and pulls out what's useful and what's relevant. So yes, you want to dream it up, and you don't want any kind of limitations on the artistry that you get into, or any kind of meditation or spiritual practice, or anything yummy and delicious and dreamy like Pisces can be. You want to let that roll for 2 weeks. But when you get to Virgo full moon is the culmination. It's like you got full of all this juicy, delicious art kind of activation within your being. Even if you're not an artist, you've got something creative going on inside you. When we get to Virgo, we're going to release any parts of the system that don't work. And that is going to really allow more goodness to come through. So, where's my chica bonita? Are you there? Do you have any questions or anything that came up last night? You know, with Pisces, I meant to talk about the filters as well. You know, we've discussed how water signs tend to have certain perceptions, and you've got to be mindful of your filters. I love this little analogy about the dryer. When you pull the lint out of the dryer, you think you've cleaned it. But if you try to run water through it after months and months of use, it actually creates this waxy buildup. And you have to actually take soap and water and scrub it until water flows through freely. Think of that in terms of your perception. What has gotten kind of crusty and sticky around your belief systems and how you perceive your world? Because you may need to scrub, rinse, repeat. And our filters need to be cleaned a little bit better. And we get this chance twice a year, which is just wonderful, to clear that gunk, you know. And the gunk for us would be childhood traumas and dramas, any kind of conditioning that you came up with, any kind of bad habits you've gotten into. These all color your perception of anything that you're trying to observe or interact with. So Pisces is the time to clean those filters and be mindful of what you're picking up in terms of vibrations and whatnot. And using and practicing different modes of communication, like I said, getting into some art and some meditation, even if it's not your thing, just branch out a little bit and see what comes of it.
I love it. You always tell me I'm on the right track.
Yay! That's because you're tuned in and you're conscious. You know, when you're paying attention, even if you do the wrong thing or you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal because you're still consciously moving through.
Right,
and you're doing
right.
the best you can with what you've got in that moment, you know.
That's it.
Yeah, we're human.
And it's being aware of it.
Perfect, let me know. You're going to float away.
Yeah. Well, today we're doing something for the body and the spirit. We have belly dancing on.
Oh, great. There she made it.
Yeah.
Yay.
We have
Wonderful.
Teleris on in a little bit.
Wonderful.
Did anybody have any questions for Kelly?
Do you have any questions?
It was good.
Hello?
That was
good?
Victoria.
Okay.
She said it was good.
Wonderful. Was it good for you, honey?
Yeah.
It's always good, Kelly. It's always good. I listen to Kelly. Kelly has a call in 3 times a month,
Yeah.
and
We
one
have
of
a
them is
call.
free.
Oh, yeah, the Venus in retrograde is in Aries is going to be March 10th. That's the next free call. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to do lots of fun stuff.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to listen to see, okay, yeah, I am on the right track for what I'm doing.
Exactly.
And people who are questioning it gives so many answers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we do that at the beginning of my calls. I tell people to pose their questions, then to call in their angels and guides, and their answers always come somehow throughout the night, specific. I mean, every call I get feedback from people that were like, were you talking directly to me?
Wow.
And I'm like, well, yes, I was. You and you and you and you. I was talking directly to all of you.
Well, it was funny because I when I was putting together, I have a roll-in so that when you talk, they don't have to look at us sitting here, but it has a bunch of photos. These are all photos that I took. And I do it, and I see how close to what you're talking about is the photo.
Wow.
And earlier when you're talking about getting back with nature, and right there's the butterfly, and you're talking about water, and there's some water, and so yeah, it's cool to see how it all relates.
Yes, yes. Oh, that's wonderful. Yes, and using your intuition as much as possible, using other forms of communication, sending out a message to a friend you want to call you. Just put it out there.
Oh, yeah.
And how often that happens when you put it out there.
And that does. You know, I mean, that
It
happens a
all the
lot.
time to me.
It does
I don't
happen
have
a
to
lot.
worry about anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Now, you had said you were going to be driving somewhere today?
I thought I was, but we don't have to leave until 6. My son is being honored for his academic excellence
Wow.
at the local college. They've picked some 6th graders that have
How
done really well
exciting.
for years.
Wow.
And,
You must be
We're
proud.
very proud of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Yeah,
we
so-
try to do these things and support
What's
him.
his name?
Henry.
Henry?
Henry Aaron.
Henry Aaron, we're all proud of you.
Really?
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, you guys are wonderful. Yes, he's doing band and basketball and track, so he's very, very busy. And so when Mommy has to get in the mix, we drop everything and go.
Way cool. Well, Kelly, hey, since you got to leave, get your butt in gear.
Okay, darling.
Thank
Thanks,
you
everybody.
so much for calling.
No problem. And I'll
Bye,
see you in 2
Kelly.
weeks.
You got
Okay,
it,
and
Kelly
join
and
the call if
Beard.
you can. The Venus one only happens every 8 years. I mean, we've really got to work this mojo.
And
Okay.
Venus is all about love.
That's right.
Cool.
Okay.
We
All
love
right,
you,
sweetie.
Kelly.
Lots of love. Take care.
Bye, Kelly.
Bye.
That was Kelly M. Beard of Karmic Tools. Check out your internet. Like I said, she does monthly call-ins, and I really enjoy, you know, it's like, how can you sit there and listen to somebody for an hour and a half, 2 hours? But you hear how quick it goes. I mean, when Kelly gets rambling, I mean, it just goes. Guys, you can keep the rolling in there. In about 5 minutes, that's when it's going to start those paranormal photos, the UFOs. So just keep an eye, because I'd like people to check them out, because they are pretty cool. I have quite a few different UFOs on there. Some were following me coming out of a graveyard, and it's like, what is that? and then I have some that I had.
They're just saying
I don't
hi.
know how many pictures, and then I have some little clips. But the camera that I took them with was a Kodak EasyShare on an SD card, so it's not a great resolution or whatever.
They're just saying hi.
But well it's really interesting, because when you're looking, and that one was this one I call what is it, Spirit on Thunderbird Lake, or Thunderbird on Spirit Lake. Anyhow, I don't even remember what I called it, but it was really cool because I had like a Thunderbird that came out on it.
Wow.
You know, they talk about these. What's that? Nah, we're good. It'll come back out. It comes down and gets the stars. Because when I was doing it, it's like I wanted to do something that people would find a little bit entertaining.
Where was this
also, this is over in Transylvania County.
Okay.
Let me see. Going towards Wolf Lake. I don't remember what the name of it was, but you saw that little like
Yeah.
Thunderbird that was on there. So I like to get the difference, solar flares or whatever you want to call them. You know, they say that it's nothing, that it's just a refraction from the lens or whatever. But I find it very interesting how if it's nothing, that there's something. You know, I just don't understand it's nothing. But then, well, wait a minute, there's something there. So, and this one I found really interesting because it looks like can you flip us out so you can see this one? It looks like a three-legged person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
And this is, I caught it in the sun. Oh. And it would look like you would just be missing one of the, or these two of the legs would be.
One could be behind it, one, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Is this
I thought
also
I
in
saw
Pennsylvania?
two people together like this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this one's in Transylvania County. This is going up Cathy's Creek, if anybody's familiar with it. But it's like I haven't seen these on the big screen, so I don't know how, I'm hoping that you guys can see them half decent.
Wow.
I can
But
see
with
it
the
good.
pixels. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, now that's cropped a little bit. That wasn't the full, I cut it down.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I
you
mean
can-
by
you
crop.
can see it.
So there was a bigger, right, I wanted to see, because it was that was just a small portion
I
of
do
the
that a
photo.
lot.
But it's like, I can never quite understand if they say that nothing's there, then why is something there?
Yes.
I
True.
could never understand it. But anyhow, you guys are gonna see those, and we're gonna talk to Teleris a little bit, and just I guess have them run, and I know that there's a couple of them that I'm gonna interrupt Teleris to tell you about them, because I mean they're really cool. I guess I'll keep talking. You know me. We were in this one cemetery down in Florida. And I like to go to cemeteries before dusk. There is a proper etiquette, and I like to be respectful of the dead. So if you go there before, it's not as rude as going to somebody. It's like you don't go to somebody's house when you know they're in bed. Well, it's kind of like going to a graveyard. Well, you don't go to a graveyard because they're up and about. It's just rude. So if you go there before, they're a little bit friendlier. But we went to this graveyard, and I just got the heebie-jeebies, and I'm like, I got back in the car. It's like I'm not getting out. I got out, and it's like I got back in because I just felt really.
You felt presence?
Yeah. I mean. When I bumped into that one down in Florida, and I got a picture of it, it's like, you don't have to tell me, I know that they're there.
Right.
And I just had really bad vibes being there. So we're in, and I'm taking pictures as we drive. I like to take photos while I'm driving, but it's like I know that something is right there following us out. And you'll see these pictures.
Wow.
Where I have like 5, 6 different photos. Now, the one photo, they say, oh, well, you just reflected on a sign. No, because one of the photos that you're going to see is a reflection of a sign. And these other photos are
totally
not.
different.
Yeah. Yeah, because the one photo, it's like, wait a minute, they look like different colored lights. And then how it looks like a different color light, well, now you're seeing at a different angle, and you know what?
I see.
Really strange. And then when I got the pictures of the UFOs in Florida, it's like, what is it? And I was with another girl, and it was so strange because I would take pictures, and this thing would get brighter and brighter.
Like it was getting bright for you?
Well, when I took the photo and the camera flashed, the object would get brighter.
Oh.
And then it would get dim again. And whenever I would take the photo, and my camera went dead. I had 2 cameras, so I took a bunch of photos. I kept taking photos, and until it went dead.
Wow.
That's it. So it was like really, really cool. So, Teleris, you know all kinds of stuff like this too, don't you?
I do. I actually am a member of the Paranormal Society here in Asheville. One of them
With Sarah?
with Sarah Harrison.
Uh-huh.
I haven't been to a meeting for a while because I'm a busy little person. But
Uh-huh.
so yes, I've gone out ghost hunting and things like that. I've had a couple encounters myself, and I'm really not afraid of ghosts, I must admit. As I told one of them, I remember being one, so why should I be afraid of them? They're just dead people.
Right. And but see, I also know that they feed off of your negative, off of your fear. I mean, I know
Even better reason not to.
That's it. Seriously.
Laugh at them, yes, laugh.
Yeah.
Laugh with them, huh?
Laugh
Right.
with them, yeah.
Right. Because if you feed into that fear, it seems to make them stronger. It's an energy that they feed off of.
Yes, or it encourages them to be nasty instead of benign. So
Yeah. It's like bullies in school. Like if they bully a kid and the kid gets all mad, they
Yeah.
feed off it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're dealing with all different. I mean, dead people are people, so you're going to get your bullies and your nasty people, and as well as your nice people.
And a lot of it is your belief in what you were taught when you're alive. You know, if people are taught that they're, you know, going to heaven or going to the other place, well, you know, let me see. And if they don't think that they're going to be good enough because they've been taught, well, you're bad if you do this or bad if you do that, or you're just bad, you know, and they're thinking in their mind that they're going to be going to such and such a place. Well,
And then it's
There's
very
no-
sad.
there's
That's
no
a very
reason for your
sad
death.
thing.
yeah.
It's natural.
Well, yeah, you got to tell them to go into the light. Now you wanna say show who the guest is that we have?
Yes.
Is that cool?
Yes, we would like to show our guest, our
Would you
special
like
guest.
to introduce our guest?
We have a very special guest today. This is my mother. Her name
Say-
is Betty.
Right there's your camera.
Yeah, raise your camera right there by Aaron, Mom. Look over there. Okay.
Say hey,
Yeah.
everybody.
Say hey, Mom. And say, Mom, you want to say hi to Johnny because he's watching?
Yeah.
Say hi, John.
Hi, John.
And Linda, she's probably
Linda.
watching. Maybe Sherry
Sherry.
and Haley.
Haley.
Betsy.
Betsy.
Yeah.
I got a lot of kids.
Yeah, you got a lot of kids. You're responsible for a lot of them. But my mom is living here now in Asheville, and we're thrilled that she's here. She moved here from outside of Chicago, from northern Indiana. And she's lived in Florida for a while, too. She's gotten around. But now she's settled here in Asheville, so it's a delight to have her here.
So she's going to be hanging with us more often, I take it.
Yeah, we're going to have her hanging more often.
Oh, then she's going to be our senior point of view?
Yeah, she can be our senior point of view, especially when we have the sex talk. And what is that? She can give us advice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, that won't be until sometime in April. Oh, here we have the one coming out. Can you take us out? I don't know if, I don't know if you got all of them. But this is one of them where I was saying about the colored lights.
Oh, yeah.
That this was one of. Let me see. It might be too or far in. Yeah, and see, that was just parts of it.
Wow, that's just.
That's just part.
But that
of
was
it.
just one photo. There's some other ones.
And so that's nothing, right? It's coming at you. It's going
it's
away.
beside.
It's zooming.
It's
and
beside
look-
as I'm driving, but it's like, what
Wow.
is that?
What is that?
Did it look like that? Like a
There was
rectangle?
something there, but there wasn't
Definitely.
anything there. See, now look at, you see how that is? Well, it'll come back out. Okay, there's another colored light. And then that one right there, that is a street sign. See, and that's what it's saying.
Okay.
Okay, now that's what a sign looks like
When it's
it's reflecting.
Yeah.
And if you look at that one in comparison to the other ones, you know, it's
doesn't
not.
look as-
So
yeah.
it's like, you see that little pink, I only caught a corner of it. But that was following me out of the cemetery. And I'm hoping that there's some other ones in here. I know that there was a couple of them in behind. Oh, you couldn't really see. That was like some really strange faces that I just zoomed in on that. It was like some really strange faces that were in the background. Oh, here, now look at this. Isn't that weird?
That is. Look at the colors in it.
very definitely shaped.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's different color lights that's spinning.
Yeah. Wow.
Now you saw how that other one was. Now this one seems to be a little bit more defined as to, you know, what are all those colors. And you'll see it's above a fence, so you get an idea of how large this is. And the next photo is going to be what I'm assuming is like the same thing, but you're going to see it at a different angle. Or, well, yeah, you'll see it at a different angle. I mean, you can see where it is in reference to the fence. Now here, look at how it's changed. And you see how it you know, in reference to the fence, it looks like it's up higher, and you can see the different color lights, but it's not as clear as the one before it. So it's like, you know, when you say UFOs, it's like we are not alone, and there are many things that we're taught to fear. And, you know, if people see a UFO, well, what are they going to do? Get out the shotgun?
I hope not.
But that's something, why have we not had, contact? I mean, their experience with people here on Earth hasn't been very friendly.
Oh, yes. Welcoming. Oh, there's one.
Are you scared yet?
He came on the show with us, actually.
Yeah. Now, after this, because it's like, are you scared yet? Because after this, it's like, there's going to be some UFOs. And it's like Teleris is here to teach. Well, anyhow, this is like the UFO. This was a photo of it. These are stills of it that I took. So yeah, it was zoomed out with a Kodak 6-point pixels. So it's
I really like the one with the colors on it.
Yeah, wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
I mean, this will keep going. I guess we might as well get on with the show and just leave this in the background. And I was going to say, you don't even know when it's a movie. Because I wanted to show you the movie part of it. Everybody's like, what? But it was really interesting. It was like a pink and green in color.
Yes, pretty color.
And
lavenderish.
And some of the things when you're looking at this and you take the photo and you match up the stars because you can see stars in the background of it.
Okay.
So you can take the photo and match up the stars and you can see where this thing is moving.
Mm-hmm. That's a different angle, right?
Well, I'm looking from the same angle, but it was moving.
Moving, okay.
Right. It was constantly moving, and it was let's say gyrating, because gyrating would be more of a definition than just moving. And this is going to keep going. So let's get into. I didn't hear you, Christopher.
Gyrating would mean that it's just in the same location spinning.
Okay, well, whether it was in the same location, I mean, it was kind of like a top as to it didn't stay in one area and spin at the same angle. It constantly moved to different. Yeah. And I mean, it's gonna keep going on. So yeah, we might as well do our belly dancing because we only have a half an hour.
All right.
Okay. So you can just, you know what? Leave that on until we get over there set up. That'll work.
Yeah. Okay. Go set up. I'm gonna turn off your mic.
Okay. Oh well, no. Leave my mic on. I'm gonna keep my big mouth rolling.
Okay. Your mic is on. The rest are off.
All right, that'll work. And then I'll just talk a little bit more about these UFOs. This was taken down in Florida. It was in DeLand, which is in between Daytona and Orlando. And this was looking in the more or less the northwest direction, looking inland to the northwest direction. And I had another girl that was with me, and we were out looking for paranormal activity at a cemetery. And leaving the cemetery, this is what we had seen in the sky. And we had pulled over and taking photographs. The photographs were taken using the car as a tripod. So I tried to get as steady as possible. That's why, even though it looks like it's moving, because it is. Some of them you can see. I'd love to see this on a big screen TV. That would be like way cool to see it up close and personal. Because, I mean, that one has a little bit more definition, but you can see, I mean, in a split second, this thing is tumbling and moving and all that other kind of good stuff. So, you need your mic? Alrighty, Teleris is getting her mic on, and then we are going to be about ready to do our belly dancing. Are you guys all ready? Did everybody bring their cymbals or their zills today? Because we're going to have some music. Oh, well, if it's 2 minutes to 6, then I guess we'll do the start the other one. the other tape and then go at 6. Does that sound cool? Well, I guess you could always change the one now. I guess that would work. Not just going to be UFOs. Oh, okay. No. That one can stay. Camera 1. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I can just go in behind and that'll still work because we've got the other one that's going to be coming up. Okay, did we have a changeover of the tapes? Drum roll. Everybody get your zills out because we're going to have some lessons. Mine sound like a... Do I hear music? Is this the beginning of the CD? She needs the first one? Yeah, start from the beginning. Okay, well tell us about these zills.
These are old.
Okay.
They had them in Greek. They had them in Egypt in the tomb paintings.
Okay. Right.
Right, that's all right.
Now, is there a special way to put them on? The middle finger and the thumb. Okay. Now, are they supposed to ring or clap? Come on, get up off your butt. One, two. This is coordination. So we bend our elbows. Mom, you want to get up and dance? Boy, I'm like, woo!
Or you can do kind of a flat thing.
Right.
There's lots, and this is Moroccan Zills, they.
Wow.
That's what they do.
This is practice, people.
And then there's triplets, which is there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and there's triplets. Woo! Did you get that one? You got that one? It's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And
What'd you say?
Is mine on?
Yeah. Is it number 4? Okay, mine's on. I think.
I'm gonna take mine off so that I don't tangle myself up.
Do you want her to take off her mic?
Yeah, she's going to take it off.
Okay. And then I can watch. I can watch. She's gonna talk off of my mic.
I'm gonna do a spin.
Okay.
There's 2 ways to do them. I look at my hand. So I don't get dizzy.
Oh, okay. So if you look at your hands when you're doing it.
You shouldn't get dizzy. And
Okay.
the thing about that is that's the Middle Eastern way of doing it.
Okay.
The other way is the ballet way. I know it's spotting.
Uh-huh.
I don't do it very well, but you know, it's like watching this and turning your head around and spinning. Which makes
So you have a fixed point more so.
and that's what you'll see. Most dancers, Western dancers, do that,
Okay.
and that works with belly dancing too.
Uh-huh.
And so there's both. You can do it both ways.
Okay.
And if you've been trained to spot,
Uh-huh.
that's fine, no problem.
Uh-huh.
So you've got those turns, and you can spin, but
Uh-huh.
there's like where you're stepping, like half chaîné turn,
Uh-huh.
that kind of thing. Which
Okay.
is again, I look at my hands to do these things.
Okay, so looking at your
spot.
hands is easier so that you don't get that dizzy.
Well, actually, you can do it either way. If
Uh-huh.
you've been trained to do the spot turns,
Right?
you can do it that way.
Okay.
Or if you want to train yourself to look at your hands, you can do it.
Uh-huh.
But the actual turns, I mean, like spinning, you're just kind of doing
Going
this.
around?
Right.
I mean, you're just going around.
Right.
No.
Then there's, you can push yourself around with your foot.
Uh-huh.
So you're kind of doing this, pushing yourself off. The one I just did was what we call a chaîné turn. Well, at least that's what they told me it was.
Okay.
It's just sticking your foot out and going like this.
Okay, so it's really not turning. You're more or less
It's-
stepping into the turn.
Yeah, and it'll get you in a straight line.
Okay.
And you can turn that way.
Okay.
Travel.
Uh-huh.
So there's different ways of turning. But you do want to make sure that you don't actually get dizzy.
Dizzy? You mean dizzier than usual.
And you can do the full turn and stop.
Uh-huh.
And then, pivot back.
Okay.
Pivots, you can do the chaîné turns, you can do the spins,
Uh-huh.
it's all part. And you'll see in choreographs, I mean, there are belly dance choreographies,
Uh-huh.
and they will say, well, do a chaîné turn, do a spin, do a this, do a that.
Uh-huh.
So that's what they're talking about.
Oh, and see, it's like, man, do I gotta learn the names of them too?
And I'll tell you, I had been dancing for 20 years before I started actually learning names.
Oh, so then I'm not going to feel so bad, okay? You hear that? We don't have to learn the names yet. I mean, it would make it easier.
But I didn't, so that. So do y'all remember what we did last week or whenever it was?
It was so long ago, she has to do a refresher. I know, you didn't watch the first one. Okay, she's going to do a refresher. Pay attention.
So we did. Where you are standing.
Suck in your gut.
Yeah, and just kind of try to set all your weight down on your pelvic girdle, and your knees are a little bent, and you just turn, you do a little hip thing by moving your knees back and forth. Do the other way. Don't move your upper body.
Oh! You hear that? Now you can't even move your upper body. Hold still.
All right, now the hip flip.
Okay.
Where still standing like that. Put one foot out in front of foot, toe. Push up with that toe. Now both your knees are bent, or this
Okay.
won't work.
Uh-huh.
You push up and your hip is going to rise. All I'm doing is pushing up with my toe so that this knee is straightening and this one is staying where it is. That's the hip. And you can turn like that. Like that. But, or not, but that's a hip, a hip lift.
A hip lift.
A hip lift.
Hip lift.
Do the other side.
Yeah, that's my phone. No biggie. I'll get it. Answering machine will get it.
Now, you can walk the hip lift because I want to teach you to dance, walk.
Okay.
After you refresh. So, hip lift, down, step. Step forward with the little toe. Legs, knees are bent throughout this whole thing. Knees are bent.
Uh-huh.
Step again. Up, down. Step flat on your foot. Step. Up, down, up, down. So you walk. Go backwards. Reverse this. You go up, and then you lift your foot back. You're doing that.
Can they hear, huh? Nah. My boots are dirty. Yeah, you can do that. That'll work. Yeah, if you get my boots, you can see these boots were made for walking.
So here you step your toe. You've got your knees bent. And then flat. Step flat. Okay. And then when you're going back, stepping, and then putting that foot back, stepping, put that foot back, stepping, put that foot back. You see. And you've got to keep those knees bent.
Knees bent.
Walk around like Groucho Marx will walk.
It's easier to bounce on your knees.
It is, because you've got that room to
Yeah.
and then go up and down. So that's important, how that walk. So one of the basic walks is the Egyptian walk.
Okay.
And that is basically. But what you're doing with your hands is you're going forward with your, like this, and then you're bringing, so that's the hand movement. And it's side, if you want to present like your side, not full face on, but always
To the
this
side.
way, and then this way. So you're, in Egyptian dance, it's considered very vulgar to be face on, and you have to be like,
Oh, it's
glance,
always
yeah, kind of thing. Yeah.
okay.
So it's like this, and then this. That's an Egyptian walk.
Egyptian walk. Oh, is this how you walk like an Egyptian?
This is how you walk.
Oh.
They depict it in that weird way on the wall. But when you see that on the walls, that's what they're talking about. It's this. Not quite as stiff, it looks like. Okay, it's not quite as stiff as it looks like on the tomb wall.
Right.
So you can try. Let's
Oh, you want me to do the whole 9 yards? Do I look like I'm trying hard enough?
Okay, you start out like this. And you're reaching out to the audience with that eye. And reaching out like this. Or you're looking in a mirror. Some people like to think of it like that. Okay. And always curves. Curves, straight.
Blow.
Straight. Yeah.
Blow.
Add a little thing that helps later on in more advanced things.
Okay.
When you're doing an Egyptian walk and you're coming back, you can add a little swing. Swing, swing, up. Swing, swing, up. Up. Backwards. Okay. The reason I did it with George Abdu is when I was taking an Egyptian fusion belly dance class in Hawaii, which is a big belly dance capital. You wouldn't know it. But
Really? In
it
Hawaii?
is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I guess with the hula, that could be
The
similar.
hula, and the woman who was teaching us Egyptian fusion was a major hula dancer as well.
Oh, cool.
She would have us do this routine to the beginning 4 songs
Right.
of George Abdu's album every start of every class. And that was the beginning of it.
And that was the warm up to get you warm?
That was the warm up. That was the beginning of it. And we did that walk with the swing. Because there's another thing that comes that's called a 3/4 shimmy.
Okay.
It uses that same movement. It uses that same forward, stop, only, moving your feet.
So that's one of the main of
Main rhythms, yeah.
of the dance.
That 3/3 thing. And so that's something, if you practice the Egyptian walk, it helps you. And if you can do that coordinated arm movement with the walk, it really helps later on. So it's something to practice.
Oh, that's for sure. I mean, it's like learning the stuff is one thing, and then putting it with the zills is like, oh my gosh.
Right, and you want to do zills as much as possible too.
To practice.
Yes, so that the more you get used to do it, especially when you learn a new movement, you should always practice it with the zills.
Okay.
And so now we're going to get into the Turkish walk.
Okay.
Which is a different thing. Now this, grapevine. You know what a grapevine is? Grapevine step?
No.
It's a Greek step. Basically, it would need my feet again, I expect.
Okay.
You're basically, it's this thick,
Oh. And now is that one in front and one in back, or are they always going in back?
No,
One was in front and one's in back?
The main grapevine does that. The Turkish walk doesn't. Because
Okay.
Of course, the Turks and the Greeks could not possibly be the same. Oh no, they're not. Of course not. They are, but never mind. Turkish coffee. Never go into a Greek restaurant and say that you want Turkish coffee. Just an aside.
Oh, really?
Years of my wisdom. Don't do it.
Yeah. Why do they spit in it?
Yeah, they don't like that. Even though it's the same, the Greek coffee is basically the same as Turkish coffee, but never mind.
Oh,
So
good thing I don't drink coffee.
So for the Turkish walk, it's a variation on the basic grapevine.
Okay.
You're going to go, just keep going back. And not even necessarily back.
Not this way, just this way. So you're getting that movement. Now, a little complication with it. You're doing this different levels. So you're going to go tippy-toe, 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 down. Okay? I have to always do this. I have to do it and then figure out what I'm doing. So bad, but let's see. This is the walk. So it's the leading foot that goes up and down. Okay, so what you're doing is you're on tippy toes. This is the major. Okay, so you're on tippy toes. You step, and then you go flat foot and step. Step, and flat foot and step. That's your feet.
Flat foot.
Step and step on your tippy toes.
Step.
And then flat. And step. Step and flat foot and step. Okay, let's everybody try just the feet now. You have boots on.
Step.
You're going to have a hard time.
I'm gonna take my shoes off.
But,
Oh, what? Now you want to see my socks?
okay, so get on your tippy toes. And step on your tippy toes and step on your tippy toes. Step flat. And step on your tippy toes still. Step, flat, step. Okay? Okay. That's the first. That's the first thing. Then you're doing the hip sway. So as you're doing this, your legs are bent and you're doing a hip sway. So you sway and then back, flat. Okay. Step, back. Step. And your hip is following your foot. Okay? Trust the church to be more complicated than the Egyptians. I love teaching this. If you can get this is fusion. This is fusion belly dance. Okay, so we got the hip sway. And make it, just exaggerate it. Doesn't hurt to exaggerate. Nope. Now we're going to do the mirror thing again. This is a mirror. You're being beautiful. Okay. And then you do it back this way. Oh, look how beautiful I am. That's easy. I'm just so beautiful. You smile at yourself. And then the real fun part is chest. We did chest circles last time. Did we do chest circles?
I think we did something with the upper. Did we do something with the upper body? Oh no, we didn't do those.
Okay.
Oh no, we didn't do those.
Let me take these off first.
Yeah.
Take off the symbols
Basically,
or the zills.
with this you don't have to actually do a chest circle. But what you do, lift your butt. Just lift your boobs up. And drop them. Stop. Okay? Like, make them go out now. Like somebody did this with an ice cube. Okay. And out and back. You don't cave in. You never do that. You are just standing in the posture and somebody hits you with an ice cube in the middle of the back and you go, out. Okay. So that's out. And the up is just taking a deep breath, right? Up. Out. Up. Out. Now the fun part. When you're going up, you're doing an up, and then you're doing out, up, out.
Holy sugar! Up and out! I thought that they make those cross your heart bras.
I'll show you what it looks like. It goes up, out,
Whoa!
Yeah.
Practice, make your boobies go up and out. Woo!
And the thing is that will help strengthen these muscles.
The muscles,
so
yeah.
you can do these.
So that you really can do that belly dancing and your boobies won't be on your belly.
And the thing about a circle with them is that you don't move anything else. See?
Oh,
Like that.
5 minutes? Oh my God!
We
Time
can-
goes so quick around here. Oh, but don't worry, Teleris is
will. We'll concentrate more on upper chest movements
Next time?
next time.
Wow.
Practice the up and out. Try and figure
Up
out
and
the
out.
separation of the muscles underneath your boobs. It doesn't matter how big your boobs are. In fact, it helps if they're not so big. I know that from experience, but at any rate.
Okay, so we're
Practice,
practicing the up, and out.
And the difference between them.
The difference between the up and out. Woo.
Notice what it feels like.
Well, I mean, it all feels. Excuse me. But then that's why we're here.
That's right.
We're here to give a solution because some people just don't like to get up and exercise. Me being one. Dancing is another story. And I'll tell you what, getting up and dancing, belly dancing, this is like way cool. So we're going to have Teleris come back again. I guess that the roll-in's about ready to roll on out of here. So we're going to keep an eye on that. I know that we're getting close to timeout. So, okay, we still got like 3 minutes yet. So, Teleris, tell us more about belly dancing.
Well, let's see. It's old. It's considered a dance that was a birthing way to teach and strengthen muscles used in birthing. Because when you're doing these things,
Oh, yeah, you're definitely working those muscles.
those women out there who know what Kegel movements are,
Yeah?
gee, that helps you do those undulations too. Those downward undulations with the that I was just doing.
Right.
You're basically doing
Doing the Kegel
the
exercises.
Kegel so that you can see it.
And that's to strengthen your bladder,
Yes.
ladies. That's nothing, I mean, you want to keep it. The saying is use it or lose it. So either you strengthen your muscles or when you get older, you're going to need some Depends.
Yeah, so hopefully I won't. And so that started. You can see paintings, Neolithic, those cave paintings.
Right.
And some of them are women with things around their hips, not around their waist, around their hips.
Right.
The little fringy skirts and
Uh-huh.
stuff. And even some of them, they've speculated, it looks like they have something in their hand.
Right.
They've been using a form of symbols for millennia. They're
And is that like music to their own ears? Is that what you would call?
basically, I would say that when everything started, they had drums and they had the finger cymbals.
Right.
And that would be what they had to dance to. They did not have George Abdu on a CD.
Right.
So, and it's even in the Bible. David's daughter runs out to meet him with cymbals.
Oh, because I was going to say, well, I guess it depends on what part of the Bible that you're reading, because I know some parts of the Bible say you're not supposed to dance.
Oh, well, yes, but you can find anything in the Bible.
I guess it depends on who wrote that edition that you're reading.
But if you read the part where David is coming home from a battle, or Saul is coming home from battle, and his daughter, Michaela, something, runs out to meet him. She's dancing.
Yeah.
And he had made an oath that the first person he saw would sacrifice or do something. And she was the
Whoa.
first, and he was very sad. It's in Kings, I think.
Look it up. We'll
Somebody
quiz you
look it
on
up
it
and they'll
next
find it.
week. Hey, man, we gotta fly. It's been fun. Thank you, Teleris. Thank you, Victoria.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next week. Stay tuned for the I Ching.
some world people watching on the internet. Oops, there's my microphone.
Turn your
All right.
mics on.
Yes, I meant to say, how are you? And if I could point out my shirt, I wore it last week and I wore it again this week because I forgot to show it to you. It's like an I Ching abstract art type of shirt. I wanted to mention that. And my mic is real kooky now. Let me switch this around. I think that would work a little better. Yes, that's better. Now, something I had mentioned on the last episode was Shannon and I were getting a little bit irritated with these dice. If we could turn on that, side cam. Now you see, these are polyhedrals, and you might be able to see how there's numbers on there. Like I think that's a 13. And what we were doing is we were watching, and we were saying, you know, anything even is yin, anything yang is odd. And that's all fine and all, but it started getting a little bit annoying. Like sometimes it's hard to see the numbers, and especially the 9 and the 6. See, we're trying to figure out the difference between the 9 here and the 6, like which way is the dash? Is it right side up this way or that way? It was getting a little bit annoying. And so I ordered some other dice. They're just solid white. That's all they are, nothing on them. And I used a permanent ink marker, and I made them, because on these dice they have all the evens in one side and all the odds on the other side. So I just went ahead and made this white dice, and with a permanent marker I made half it black. So if anything comes up this way, it's yin, anything that way, it's yang. Real nice and simple. And if you think about it, after I was finished, I kind of realized it kind of looks like a 70s sci-fi kind of thing. Logan 5, take this with you. It'll help you find sanctuary. So that's what we have going on now. And I haven't really tested them yet, and I certainly would like to. So you can help me test them by asking the I Ching a question by calling this number, our studio number. And it's, in case you're long distance, it's area code 828-505-2806. Is the pen still there? Mm-hmm. Yes, I'll put that on there. Area code. Because hopefully we have some people abroad watching. That would be nice to know. We occasionally have whoever it is, Jet in the Netherlands.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes she's watching. So if she's watching, there could be who knows how many other people watching. So there you go. Area code 828-505-2806. I'll go ahead and leave this here for a moment. Put the Wiccan altar bell there. Yeah, it's kind of holding it up. Not really. Oh well, just have to hold it. Yes, the oldest divination system in the world. The oldest one. And quite possibly the oldest book in the world. And it is extremely accurate in terms of divination, or as a lot of people call it, just fortune telling. And it still, to this day, gives us the creeps sometimes how really amazingly accurate it is. And I don't know if I ever...
Let me help you prop that up.
Oh, appreciate that. Our intern Aaron is back for this week.
And look at this.
Don't know where you want.
Yeah, it still
that's
works.
Good. That's good.
Hopefully it'll stay
You
up.
see, Aaron? He figured it out for
You
us.
want this book?
I guess that seems to work. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me turn the camera down.
Well, actually, it's synced onto the tray now, dice tray.
Got it, cool.
Okay, thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
And we have Teleri with us, and she occasionally reads tarot cards.
I do. I read tarot cards.
So we can't help but be mutually interested in each other's things, divination things. And I can't help but, you know, appreciate her input also, because she deals with this also, divination.
How long have you been reading tarot?
Well, I started reading tarot from playing cards when I was a teenager, which we won't go into how long ago that was. But I was the original Beatlemaniac, so that could give it an idea. But I started, and all of a sudden, I don't know, the Queen of Spades came up 4 times in the same reading. It scared me because it like worked.
Uh-huh.
And I got scared because I was, you know, young. I was 16. And we would play with, you know, the Ouija board thing too, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But this was something that seemed to, I don't know, I could get the Ouija board to move without touching it, but that didn't scare me for some reason. It didn't scare me like those cards scared me.
That did scare you.
But then later on, maybe 15 years later, I got real fascinated with tarot cards. They were so beautiful. And I tried reading them again, and I guess I just had a little more experience by that time. And I just started reading them. I own about 6 tarot decks.
Wow.
My favorite is the Arthurian one because I'm an Arthurian nut, as my daughters will tell you.
Understandable. Arthurian legends are great.
But I also have one that was done by Onsa and another lady. She is from Asheville, and they did a tarot card deck. And I bought it in Glastonbury, so it's worldwide. And she's from Asheville, so that's really good.
Wow.
And I have several others. And I read them quite a bit, and I find that I like to call it, well, my sister-in-law calls it psychic, what are the ink blots? Rorschach,
Yeah.
those things, those ink blot things. That's what my sister-in-law, the psychologist, calls it. She says I read them like it's psychic Rorschach.
Okay.
Well, does she believe in the psychic aspect, or does she just think it's your imagination?
She's kind of. She says the way I read them, it wouldn't matter. That's how she said it. So, you know, I don't know, but I thought it was interesting that she would say that. She's a psychologist. That means they won't tell you what they really think.
A habit of theirs, yes.
Yes. Well, I was wondering, did you have a question, Teleri?
I would like to know if the impact of the housing slump is going to hit Asheville in the spring.
Oh gosh, that's possible. Well, these are on. Oh, Aaron. Let me get their attention. Aaron could take the bell back there.
Oh, yeah.
This bell here is what we use. I have them let me know calls coming in.
I hear a bell.
Yes. I meant to put that back there. Sorry about that. But
So you're wondering if the slump is going to hit Asheville in the spring?
Right. It hasn't. I keep hearing it hasn't hit yet, and is it going to hit, and is it not going to hit? And I'm just thinking, is it
Going to hit in the spring?
that's a good question. Well, you have to figure out how to word it, though. Oh, my pen isn't here. I left that in the control room. Yeah, because we were labeling that thing in there.
Oh, okay.
My ballpoint. Well, I can just remember to do it later today. It's not the biggest deal.
Could you hand us a pen? Is there one? A pen? I think Mark left his. Thank you, Christopher.
You're welcome.
Perhaps we can word it, what effect, if any, will the housing crisis have on Asheville in the spring of 2009?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be one way to word it. Okay. Go ahead and date this. Wednesday is 20th, isn't it?
Caller.
Oh, I think we have a caller.
So we'll go ahead and write this one down and.
It's being called the housing crisis, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we are, we may tell you next week.
Yes.
Something about that. We have something going on with that.
Yes. Something, yeah, that might have finally be working out.
In fact, Asheville housing sales
And prices.
or house sales, housing industry.
The condos.
Yeah, that's
Specifically.
specifically.
The condos.
I got you. I think I know what you're up to.
You know about the condos that they were wanting to put downtown, or?
No, she means
All the 5 million that they're building
Yeah.
for some reason in the
in
Asheville.
downtown Asheville,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Oh, I can tell you the answer to that.
Asheville's condo projects.
Yeah.
Okay. Asheville's condo building projects. Let's be a little bit more specific.
Okay.
Our first test of these dice, those 70s sci-fi dice. What will the housing crisis, what effect, for some reason I forgot.
That word. Okay.
Oh wait, what will the housing crisis, how will, let's just change it to how.
Okay.
We're going to get it right sometime, people. Hang on. How will the housing crisis affect Asheville's condo building projects,
Okay.
which some people regard as rather obnoxious and will not be too sad to see stop, perhaps myself included. How will the housing crisis affect Asheville's condo building projects?
Did you want to say downtown Asheville? Did you want to be more specific, or just
Asheville.
okay in general? Okay.
Okay. How will the housing crisis affect Asheville's condo building projects? Young student, apprentice, what do you think that is? My potty one.
You do the first couple, and then I do the.
Okay.
Okay. Teacher.
Teacher.
Okay.
Hey, tell Matt Williams to call back.
Oh, Matt.
Oh, Matt Williams, call back, please. It was just a little techie problem, that's all. That's all that was.
Okay. What is that?
That is a yin.
That is a yin.
It's a firm yin, it's not moving.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm surprised there's a moving line in here. It's like I can't ever roll a hexagram anymore without seeing one. Not that I'm complaining, I'm just saying it's just so weirdly common anymore.
That is a yin.
Very good.
This is so much easier.
Yes, gosh.
It's such a good idea. You spend a lot of time.
Yeah, it's too much time on this. What is that,
I
Stu?
can't. Is that a yang there, that one? Or yin?
Remember, black is yin, white is yang.
Yeah. Okay. That is it. Yang.
Very good.
And it's not moving. That is a yin.
Very good.
Aren't I amazing?
Yes. A+ student.
Mark spent hours working on this too, sitting at the dining room table.
They look wonderful.
Oh, thanks. Really, thank you.
And you used my crock pot, the glass part of my crock pot.
To guard it
To
from
guard
our
it.
mischievous Milo, our cat, because I know he would have knocked one into the floor vent or something.
Looks like they were made that way. That's wonderful.
Really, thank you. I did a good job.
My
That good
guys
of a
aren't
job.
that great. You have to remember.
Yes. And that is
Oh, yin?
yin. Hmm. We did get a moving line.
Yes, yang.
And that is,
Yang.
yes. Yes. And that is,
Yang.
yes. And that is, 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 yes. And that is
Yin,
but
it's moving.
moving in. Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll go
So
ahead
we
and
only have one.
copy over all the
Okay.
lines. It's like I can hardly ever ask any question without at least one moving line. Well, I don't know, it kind of goes in spells. Sometimes I'll go long periods, never ever seeing one, and then at the moment I'm in a spell where I just keep seeing them and seeing them. So let me go ahead and identify these real quick.
Again, Matt, call us back.
And the first one is Mountain Under Earth. 7. And the second one is Mountain Under Mountain, All Mountain. And All Mountain is 52. Interesting, we're talking about man-made structures, and here that ends up with a natural structure. And it sounds like we have a call, so this can wait a
We'll
little
just
bit.
sit, at least we got the hexagrams.
Yes, we can get back to it.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good,
Hey,
how
how
are
you doing?
you?
I'm good.
Great.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Will the Chicago Cubs win the next World Series?
The
That's a yes or no.
That's a yes or no. You want to know, like, World Series?
Yes.
Sheesh. Well, I don't know with that goat curse that they have going on. Really, I mean, I believe in the thing, but I can go ahead and how can we put this?
Because we can't ask
How
you-
good will they do?
Yeah, we could say how good will they do. You mean next year? Or
This coming up season, yeah.
Okay. How good will the Cubs do in the 2009 series? Would that work?
Season?
The season, yeah.
Season? Uh-huh.
Okay.
Turn his TV down.
Okay.
We're getting the echo.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And if you could turn down your TV because it's causing this weird echo.
Yeah, just turn down a little bit.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, so.
Let's
by
write
the-
this out.
Is your name Jim?
No,
Yeah.
it's Matt. Oh, I thought it was Matt.
Okay, no, this is somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I'm a big Cubs fan, by the way.
Oh, great.
So is my family.
Well,
I'm
they're
just
from
tired of
Chicago.
the
Yeah,
curse.
they're from the Chicago area, so
Oh, okay.
big time. Are you from Asheville?
No, I just go to school here.
Oh, okay.
In Virginia.
Oh, okay. What part
Oh,
of Virginia?
Yeah.
Like the Williamsburg area.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
It's very pretty up there.
Yeah.
How about the Chicago
I like this question.
Cubs? It's first.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
First sports question, by the way.
I think my brother's a Cubs fan too, but he lives in Cleveland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Funny he didn't like. Who is that? Cleveland Indians.
I'm pretty sure it was. This is baseball we're talking
Right,
about,
right.
Uh-huh.
I think he just said that the Cleveland team was too stupid to.
Well, that's putting it pretty blunt. Isn't it? Okay.
So
All
I
right.
put it as, how will the Chicago Cubs do in the 2009 baseball season? I think that's a pretty good way of putting it.
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I'm not too optimistic. I'm really.
You worried
have a
about
bad-
that goat?
Yeah, that goat curse. That goat head. The goat.
What is the goat curse?
Oh, some guy had a pet goat. He might have been older, and he would take the goat around on a leash, and then he wanted to take it into a Cubs game once. This was like in the early 1900s, and they wouldn't let him. And he got really mad and supposedly yelled at them and cursed at them and told them to put a curse on them that they'll never win the World Series ever. And ever since then, they have never won. And every time they even get close, some little screw up will happen and screw it up. Like they got close that one time, someone in the audience caught the ball.
Oh yeah.
You know, and now the head of that goat is stuffed and it's in a bar nearby. If I were the Chicago Cubs owner, I would do my best to buy that head and bring it to the game, put it in the audience, and see.
Give it a box seat.
Then say, here, you're at the game. We let you in. We let you in every game. I mean, get a shot.
Might work.
Okay.
All right.
This will be our first roll, and there's 6 rolls.
Yes. How will the Chicago Cubs do in the 2009 baseball season? How will the Chicago Cubs do in the 2009 baseball season? What does the I Ching have to say about that? Yang, that's right.
Yes, Yang. I had a 50-50 chance.
What's that?
Sometimes with this angle, I can't tell if it's on black or white. That's
Is
the
it
problem.
shine from the
Yeah,
studio lights?
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put my hand over a little bit and see if I
Okay.
can stop the glare for
So,
you. See that
so
much.
tell everybody what that was.
That was a yang.
A yang.
Yang line.
Yin.
Mm,
Wait. That angle.
yang again.
Yang again. Okay.
See?
Yeah.
It's firm.
It's firm.
It's not moving. Need to get it more that way.
Yang. Yin.
Yin. And it's a moving yin too. So, okay, yin, moving yin. Put the dot. For almost
Oh yeah,
forgot
put the dot.
That's yin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. There you go. I think that might be a better angle. Yeah. You see, it's always going back and forth. It'll be like completely yin black or completely yang white. And so if it's just one yin here, that shows it's a young yin. It's heading towards, black and yin. Now, if it's just one white, that shows it's a young white and it's young yang. If you get all yin like that, it's getting ready to change. It's an old yin, it's getting ready to change to yang. If you see them all like this, well, that's yang, but it's an old yang. It's all yang. It's getting ready to change over to yin. And that's where you get those moving lines, as they call them. Okay, I'm at a really odd angle, so let's see what I can do with this. It looks good for the camera, so I'll do my best. That's yang. It's a firm yang. They fell where the camera can't see them, so I'll just move them over without changing them, so the audience can see. That's yin. Alrighty. I can see we have lake underwater.
Well, you have one changing.
Yes, that's right. I'll just go ahead and transfer it over now. Forgot about that.
Lake underwater, you already knew that.
Yeah. That's lake underwater, but it changes into heaven underwater.
Hey, my brother will be anxious to hear this one too.
Oh yes, Johnny.
My brother John will be anxious to hear this. 5 minutes. Okay.
Let's see, identify. That's lake underwater. Lake. Underwater. That's hexagram 60. And then we have heaven underwater. That's hexagram number 5.
Okay.
I was about to say, I thought maybe I knew 5 right off the bat. No, I don't. Heaven under water is the next one. All right, and this is what they are. See, right now, well, at the moment, I guess, is hexagram 60. That's the present. But in the future, it's going to change to hexagram number 5. So I'm thinking they're going to take a turn one way or the other, so perhaps.
You Ching dog wanted up.
Yes, you bring me some luck, won't you, Russ?
Bring the Cubs some luck.
You bring the Cubs some luck, yes, indeed. I'd like to see them too. Hexagram 60 is limitation,
Uh-oh.
the fortune. Be prudent, discriminating, and controlled in handling affairs. Greed or rash and forced actions must be avoided. Safe and sound, smooth fortunes can be had if one is restrained and circumspect. Disregard of the principle of order and restraint and chaotic action stemming from intoxication in pleasure and profit will result in loss, failure, and misfortune. In business, expenses may be too great. Financial difficulties. Things will not proceed smoothly. Careless words, rumors, or slander may cause injury.
Okay.
This is a sports thing. I don't have a sports category, although in a way it's a business. So
Uh-huh.
at the moment, in terms of business, just so-so. That's the way it's putting it there.
You need to lead the sports. It's a business.
Yeah, I think so. Now that's for now, right?
Yes, but it has a moving line.
For future.
It has a moving line in hex
Right
number
now
60.
it's saying a so-so season,
Yeah, at the moment.
but
The
let's
third-
see.
The third line changing means your extravagant behavior and lack of restraint have led you into a state of difficulty. Don't we all know that? If you are now feeling regret over this and not busy placing the blame elsewhere, you will avoid further mistakes.
Okay.
So whoever is behind this, take a little responsibility for your actions, I suppose. I'm thinking that's
Okay.
what that means.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Throwing money around too much at the moment,
Would
Stuff
that
like
be
that.
with players maybe, or?
Yeah, fine.
or it could be the manager,
Yeah.
Could
Could
be
be
the
the manager
or the management.
or the management,
Maybe
yeah.
they're throwing around, I can imagine.
I know they just got a new owner.
What was that?
They just got a new owner.
Oh, did they?
Oh, that could be. That
Yeah,
could be.
throwing money around. 2-minute warning, okay. Okay. Well, right now it's saying so-so, and maybe that new owner thing is,
Is what's causing it. Maybe this new owner is getting a little too extravagant.
who bought him?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh, okay. Is he from, okay.
And the future.
Future, we're giving you future real quick.
Okay, if we get cut off, and I think we will, because we have no control over that, I'll pick up right on this on the very beginning of next episode, okay?
All right, appreciate
So
it.
if you tune in next week, I'll do what I can.
Okay, I'd like to give a shout out to my boys there as well.
Yes. The fortune is observe the proper way and be determined and dedicated. Do not be rash, hesitant, heedless, or overly extreme in actions. Wait for the opportune moment and your luck will gradually change. You will then, in the end, realize your expectations and aspirations. If you covet petty advantage or benefit that appears before you, you are bound to suffer failure.
Okay, look at the business.
And we're gone.
Okay.
Yep, let's pick it up next.
And we can do Teleris.
Yeah.
Teleri, do you watch us on,
I can't.
okay.